Hello, gentle folks, and welcome back to this month's studio vlog. Hi, how are everyone is doing? I hope you guys are having a positive start to the year amongst all the craziness, but we won't be getting into that just yet now, will we? Anyhow, I will say that things have been quite busy on my end, as I mentioned, and I am slowly working on some art and video edits, so that way I'll get back into somewhat of a schedule, something of a schedule. But for now, while I do a speed paint of a manga style black and white image, hope you guys are enjoying it. If you have questions about it, let me know. Other than that, I do have a link to a video on how I tone or screen tone in Photoshop. I've been getting quite a bit of views on that, and a few of my other videos have really kind of I guess hit the sharing or whatever. A lot of people has been coming in, so if you're new to my channel, hope you enjoy it. Hope you guys stick around and check out what I have so far. I will say that I will be a bit of not changing directions, but a slight change of direction, heading towards the same goal, but just a different route, I guess the best way to do it. Just kind of going over on how much art and things that needs to be done and stuff, and just trying to get that back into my routine. I think there is like a bit of both a positive and a negative when taking a break. For one thing, life really is easy at filling up your time and being distracted and taking up all your days, and then you suddenly get your, wake up or raise your head above water and realize just how much time has passed by. So I will say that as much as it's good to take a break, I don't think taking extended breaks, it means anything if you already have a busy life and you can't take a break from other things. So might as well just keep on working through it, right? So just slowly getting myself back into the habit of drawing again, of writing again, of reading again, and added those in despite the fact that I am quite busy. I do want to create a lot more art, and I know for some of us, it's not art block or anything. Again, it's not just time, it's just sometimes I'm tired, but I've been tired for a long time now, and I realize that feeling of feeling tired or just not feeling it is not going to go away. And even though my body feels that way, my head is just kind of brimming with ideas. So just to keep my insanity and not going crazy, I'm gonna make sure that I'm just going to go ahead and add in that extra half hour or an hour per day towards working my own personal creative things, because it's just not going to go away. So if I'm going to feel sleepy, whether I get an extra half hour or an hour of sleep or not, doesn't make a difference. So might as well. And that's for you guys too, unless you're getting like extremely little sleep or whatnot. If it just takes an extra half hour or an hour for you to work on something for yourself, then you might as well just take it, because it just does not go away. And I'm just kind of tired of feeling tired all the time. I want to actually look back on, every 6 months and see what I've created and make. So moving on to another thought. I think all of us are having these thoughts now as an older millennial, 32. I'm sure all of us are either one or the other, but most of us are one of them. And we know this year is that year, and so many things are happening. Granted, I am frustrated. I'm also not too bothered. I think I've just felt so, tired and frustrated for so long that I've just kind of like, well, this feeling is not going to go away, so I'm going to keep on working on it. And one of the things that is frustrating, though, I can see in other people that you can improve your situation, and if you can't, you just take one day at a time, and that's definitely finances. Yes, I bought a house and stuff like that because I know for a fact that rent was going to be so much more than a home. Than home prices, and since for some reason I'm stuck here in good old Florida, I figure I might as well, and then there's just other things, preparing for any kind of situation takes money also. Although I did calculate in general for things like home bills and a bit of maintenance. I do know that there's still just like other things that I did not exactly expect to happen so soon, that I have to figure out a way around that. Other things going on is things are changing, and I don't want to get too much into an art channel about this, but it's part of our life. And I know a lot of art channels don't talk necessarily about life in general, but again, I'm not like a young 17 something. I'm in my early 30s, and most of the people who watch this channel are around that age, and you guys are being affected by all of these things. And I just really wish that in general art channels had more of a healthy talk, or about other things about our lives that does affect our work. And I do wish that we talked about money just a bit more, and without people getting overly bitter about it, because I just feel like the art channels are a bit of a black hole when it comes to this, and we're the one area that needs that kind of information even more so than others. So yeah, that's that. That's that. I'll just be figuring out another side, a bajillion and one side hustles and stuff like that on top of me doing more art and being sleepy. But I mean, truthfully, I'm not overly negative about it. Like I said, I mean, I can't keep complaining. I have a house, I have a mode of transportation. My health is actually relatively good. And, I am a go-getter, and we do have the internet, so I do get quite a bit of information on how to do little minor things here and there and things like that. So, like they say, count your blessings, and not only count them, but see what you can use them to better yourself. So, yeah. Speaking of learning new things and financing, I am attempting to start a garden. And added with the fact that the weather patterns are so messed up these past 2 years, living in Florida, or like south central, like a bit south of the central part of Florida, but not fully south. Florida is difficult. My goodness, the amount of bugs that you have to deal with, the horrible sand, because we don't have dirt here, we have sand, and you have to really like treat your dirt and stuff. And mind you, I've never grown anything ever at all, like not at all. So for me to basically start on hard mode, no tutorial, has been an interesting feat. And then the temperatures will go from 80 for 2 days, sudden rain, and then drop to 45. So the hot weather plants are like shriveling up, and the cold weather plants are wilting. So it's like I have to like rotate between going in and out of the house. And I think after, let's say, I'll give it a 2 years trial to see what goes on. I might honestly convert an area in my house to grow my plants, because the outside temperature is far too crazy. And this is giving me more of a perspective of how crucial and how important our food source is, because again, I'm sure a lot of you heard a lot of things in the news. Like I said, most of you guys are about my age and older, so you can't help but not hear of what's going on with everything, just everything. And attempting to do it yourself makes you realize why we all move to a more efficient industrial way of doing things. And that it had definitely improved our quality of life, but at the same time, our quality of life is very fragile, because we all lose too much information that we need to get. And it's actually, on a side note, it's kind of funny, because I've watched a lot of dystopian stories and they don't really talk about that. So not to get all doom and gloom or dystopian, but it's still just kind of funny. Like, what would you do if you suddenly had all of your modern amenities taken away from you? On the one hand, I mean, I've kind of been experienced this a little bit when I had my year living in Haiti. So how to live without, consistent electricity and stuff like that, and how you build your homes, because we don't have AC either down there and stuff like that. And I also personally have been fasting, so getting used to the sense of just a light hunger, nothing like going 3-4 days of hungry, but just like, oh, maybe I'll just switch to just one meal a day, and kind of like self-rationing. And I did it mostly for detoxing anyways, not necessarily because I needed to. But it really just, it forces you to really reflect and think about, the way you currently live. Is it sustainable? And does it actually strengthen you, strengthen your mind, your spirit, and your body to deal with stresses? Because there are a lot of stresses in life that I feel a lot of us in a first world country such as America that is really messing with us mentally. There's really serious mental, illnesses. And then there's some that I think is a result of the fact that we have not been properly trained, and then they kick us out into the real world and expect us to somehow sink or swim kind of deal. But won't go too far for that. So I'll end this video on a relatively positive note. Not that I was negative, but yeah, I'll end it in a bit more positive note, and maybe something that you yourself can take away. I definitely appreciate the fact that I have my health, but I do need to work on it more. I sit on my desk for a good 10 hours out of the day. I'm constantly sitting, and I'm starting to feel it in my back at just age 32 of how bad that is. So I'm going to start exercising, not necessarily to look good, because I don't look bad either. Most people are really surprised how much I actually weigh. So my guess is I'm actually quite dense with the muscle and the bones, but I don't look it to me. But mostly because, I want to have a strong heart, and I want to be able to move around and do things and work a full, physical day if need be, because you never know. And of course, that helps with your health and your longevity on the planet. And then in general, I want to work on more of my own personal self-improvement. Maybe get back into learning some more foreign languages like I used to. Even if not being, proficient or really good at speaking it, you also have to exercise that muscle that is your brain, to help with your longevity. Eat cleaner, eat better, except for maybe once or twice a month I'll have a cheat day because, the cycle. And just working on my art and enjoying it and not over stressing it anymore. I also have a couple of other personal projects that I'm still thinking about whether I'll do it or not. But yeah, there's so many things. There's just so many things to do. Just for today being Saturday, I have probably like 10. I have quite a bit of things to do other than editing this video. But, I got like growing potatoes. Potatoes look to be the easiest thing to grow, by the way. Potato radishes. We'll see how that works. Painting. I've been painting my interior of the house quite a bit, and it is definitely sore. Muscles that I didn't even know existed are sore. Of course, your taxes and banks and billings and stuff in the month and thing like this. I try to set everything automated, but some of the services kind of are weird with that, and it kind of gets on my nerves. But yeah, we'll get into that now. But yeah, there's quite a bit of things, and I do want to keep this channel art focused, but I want to expand it because there's other things that does affect our art. So if you have any thoughts about just the general slice of life of an artist trying to balance life and creativity and adulting all in one go, you let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know your questions. Share amongst each other, and hope this video was of interest and educational to you guys. So all the best, keep positive, stay together, be with those that you love and care, and I will see you guys in the next video.